Well, hello there. Thanks for coming along to check out this video. And this is Golden Ratio Tarot, Capricorn. Yeah, so much like any other tarot, these are general readings. This is a daily reading for March the 3rd, 2021. Although it, could easily be a timeless reading if you see the thumbnail and you think it's interesting and may apply to what it is, your situation, your question, your quandary, your querent. Yeah, go ahead, give it a try. These tend to be long readings. I don't charge for extras. And as with anything on YouTube, it may or may not apply to you. Use your sense of self, your emotions, your feelings, to see whether or not something resonates for you. Part of it may, most of it may not. Always a possibility. Again, this is lengthy in nature, and let's get this started. Basically, the way that this works is I build out the spread differently than most other spreads. I do sort of a golden ratio, and it's a timeline for the day to see how the story develops. That way we don't need to use specific positions for anything. It's just about how things progress. And, it typically relates back inwards or backwards. I keep and read everything in the upright position. I don't look at the cards until we're ready to do the reading because I don't want to influence things as cards are being pulled. I'll give you a quick look at the underside of the deck, but I don't want to see that because, again, I don't want to influence the reading in any way, shape, or form with my own desires. And here we go. So the reading goes in this sort of spiral fashion. Comes around. There. Give you another peek at that. You know what it's about. I don't. Thought you might like that. So yeah, these are sort of like fun, interesting. They're always sort of exciting as different things sort of evolved. Different pieces of information are always shared, thoughts, opinions, and you don't have to agree with me or what it is that I think. You're more than welcome to sort of mute me and just sort of like perform the reading in your own way, using your own sources for what the meanings of the cards are and how they potentially relate to one another. And these are our clarifiers. We're just about ready to start. Let's finish the interior before going exterior. So, as I was saying, I don't know what this reading's about. It could be money, love, career, general advice. We'll see. So this is what we use to sort of clarify what the reading's about. Is about the bottom of the deck. So 3 of Wands and 3 of Cups. So your 3 of Wands is about setting intentions for your manifestations and the things that you want to happen in your life. Your 3 of Cups is about soul contracts, relationships, often siblings. Let's take a little peek back there. 8 of Pentacles might be about setting intentions for money. Okay, so let's get started with the center, where everything begins. So let the guidance begin. All right, so 4 of Pentacles. It's a good chance that this is related to money. But as you can see, she's holding her, cute little purse there, looking off into the distance to where her likely family and friends would be. And she's holding on tight to, what she has, as opposed to being willing to, like the 10 of Pentacles, where you want to sort of share all that sort of energy and move from there. And it's coupled with the Hermit, which is about finding your guiding light, your internal sort of dialogue, your internal guidance. We'll see how that relates right here. All right, so we started with the Knight of Wands. Sorry, we're continuing with the Knight of Wands. A very expressive, passionate, quick energy. So something's coming along quickly, hopefully guiding us towards, what it is that we're holding on and restraining from sharing with the world. And it's our 9 of Cups, our dreams, our wish fulfillment. So something's moving in the way of your dreams and your wish fulfillment, but I have a strong suspicion that it may be hindered by this holding on energy unless you can go within and find the way to let it go. So as we continue on, we see the Six of Cups here is all about nostalgia. So, this gentleman and his lovely dog are sort of, thinking back to when, the dog was a puppy and he was a boy. And, thinking fond memories and that sort of thing. Sometimes, like in love relationships, it might be about, somebody coming in from the past, or, so on and so forth. Coupled with the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is about you've had a large burden for a long time, but you're nearing the end of a cycle. So you're getting to the end of a cycle. You're perhaps feeling a little nostalgic, looking back at things because things are starting to move forward quickly. But maybe it's best not to hold on to the past too tightly, because life is about progress, right? Now we continue along with the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So the Eight of Cups talks about walking away. You see this lady here, she's had this little ceremony with her 8th cup, where she's decided to let things go, to forgive and forget. That, holding on to bad memories, false beliefs, hurt, pain, etc., don't serve her. That's part of this, 10 of Cups, or 10 of Wands journey, is to let those things go so that you can lighten your load. That coupled with the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands typically is about choosing your battles or being too defensive. So in this case, it kind of looks like, you're making the right decisions about what to leave behind, and, the sticks that are going to be, or the wands that are going to be necessary in your future, and hopefully move forward with a lighter load and a freer heart. I always like, the Eight of Cups. I'm thinking about the Egyptian gods, and how when you passed away, your heart would be measured against the weight of a feather. If it was equal to the weight of the feather, you would, move on to the upper realms. If it was not, meaning that you had regrets and you'd done bad things in your life that you hadn't had forgiveness for, that you'd be fed to the man-eating crocodiles, something of that nature, live in hell. It's pretty terrible sounding. So, moving along. Nine of Cups. Again, this is back here in your lower section with wish fulfillment. You're nearly there. 10 of Cups would be like complete fulfillment, but something is being fulfilled here. Three of Swords. Although, it seems sort of like negative, like swords, especially the lower swords, typically about pain and anguish and that sort of thing. And the picture looks like, this young woman is in a lot of anguish. But the Three of Swords, in my mind, is really about healing past traumas, healing your heart. And those traumas don't necessarily have to come from external places. They can often come from your internal mindset, like, beating up on yourself, being your own inner tyrant. So it's letting go of those energies that are sort of holding you back, walking away, picking the right battles. And one of those battles is healing your heart to have your Nine of Cups, your wish fulfilled, right? And as we move along here, we have the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords. And I don't want to say that these are sort of conflicting energies, but they're interesting in the way that they work together. The Queen of Swords is, a very regal energy, intelligent, witty, successful, curt, truthful, loyal, honest. And many of those qualities you'll find in like the Hierophant, because like the Hierophant can represent God or authority, or potentially like in business terms, corporations, large ones. But it's about striking this balance between the external and the internal. And then you might notice she's got a little cup down here, so she has to be compassionate to a certain degree, but mostly truthful, which is true to her soul calling, right? So finding this true calling, a spiritual path, and moving forward with integrity. Next we have the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So the Seven of Swords talks about deceit. and illumination. Now, sometimes, you know, this is coupled with a messenger where internally or externally, you're given information to find out, you know, what that sort of deceit or trickery or thievery really truly is. And, you know, the moon is kind of bringing it to light. We all have self-deceptions, and we've all been deceived by people. And part of that process is, you know, coming to the truth and, you know, giving a degree of forgiveness, because you don't really want to carry around a sort of hate, anger, or whatever. I mean, we want to learn our lessons, but, you know, a level of forgiveness, not forgetting, right? The Knight of Swords, a very quick energy, drawn towards success and abundance, truth, honesty, much like the Queen of Swords. So we're seeing a lot of swords here after the run of the cups and the wands. So it seems like a truth seeking. Then we move on to the Three of Swords and Ten of Wands. If you may recall, we see the Ten of Wands here and the Three of Swords up here. So they're kind of brought back into your vision. Again, you know, your Ten of Swords is about leaving behind a burden, you know, that you no longer need to carry. You're almost at your goal. You've been the distance. You've gone through your battles, and you know, it's about healing your heart. And again, whether or not, you know, it's external or internal is, you know, your story, right? But I mean, apply it as required. But I mean, healing your heart so you can move forward in your life with, you know, more joy, a lighter heart, a lighter mind. I mean, it's much better to focus on your Nine of Cups that you see twice here. I mean, that's absolutely gorgeous. You know, letting go of some of this hurt, walking away from pain, picking the right battles. I mean, this is turning out to be a really interesting story. All right, next we have the Five of Wands, challenges, right? I mean, that's what life is. I mean, we face one challenge, one battle, and we move on to the next one, often with a little bit of rest between, but, you know, understanding that this is the process. We make progress this way. You know, it's coupled with the King of Cups. And I love this depiction because, you know, he's a very caring, loving, and compassionate man. Or, you know, I mean, tarot's not really male or female. It's just energy, like masculine or sort of feminine, right? But, I mean, he cares about all of his subjects and his kingdoms. But, you know, he's able to dip his little finger in there and touch the bowl and feel it, but not succumb to it. So it's sort of like choosing your reaction, choosing your response as opposed to giving a reaction. So, you know, there are challenges here, and one of your challenges is, you know, healing your heart. So having a degree of compassion towards your own progress, your own journey, and the healing that needs to take place. And also with other people, right? I mean, in external circumstances, everybody else has been hurt. And it's about trying to limit the amount of damage you do as you go forward, both to yourself and to, you know, external people, friends, family, otherwise. All right, Wheel of Fortune. So your fates are changing. Things are shifting in your favor, and it's coupled with the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups often talks about sort of indecision or having many choices, and I feel like as a process here, if you've kind of followed this, you know, letting go of your hurts and your pain and pursuing your Nine of Cups and being, you know, truthful with your spirit and letting go of deceit and, you know, putting down your burdens, healing your heart, and moving into this more sort of objective energy, allowing, you know, room for all the progress. It kind of ends up giving you more choices because you see things from a higher perspective. You see the challenge as a challenge that's to be overcome, but then you sort of look around and say, well, there's all these other things that I could be doing. And now that I see things a little bit more clearly, what kind of choices am I going to make? So, you know, it's about coming back here to your hermit, your inner guidance, you know, like what is it that's really important to you in your lifetime and your story and where you want to go. Go a little higher. Moving along, the Knave of Swords, a very anxious, energetic, Page of Swords, a learner, big ideas, great communicator. Yeah, bringing forth the truth, and that sort of line with the swords, and, you know, a message of the mind. And it's coupled with the Queen of Wands. So a very passionate energy, a very take charge and move things forward. So you might be receiving a message that allows you, you know, after you making this decision and your fortunes are changing throughout the day, that you'll be able to make a compassionate but a very strong action plan that's going to take you where you need to go. I mean, congratulations. All right, and then you move to the King of Cups. So a very strong, passionate, compassionate leader, very loving, caring, thoughtful. Back to the King of Cups because he, you know, appeared over here on the side. Again, you know, placing his fingers into the water so he can feel things, but it doesn't rule him, right? And the Hermit appears again. So a bit of introspection, you know, a bit of feeling your way through this. And again, remember in tarot, it's masculine energy and feminine energy, not man or woman or other. I mean, this just beautiful progression, right? Okay, and after the King of Cups comes the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles. So the Emperor is about having a plan and making things move forward. The Page of Pentacles is kind of like, you know, the overseeing energy here, like the Three of Wands, where it's about bringing down from the mental space something into reality, a tangible touch, feel, taste energy, where it's practical, and it's got a lot of enthusiasm. It's still very young and new and can go left, right, the wrong way, whatever. But I mean, coupled here with the Emperor's plans, I mean, I see this combination as being really, really good. And, you know, again, you just came from the Hermit mode. That seems like a nice, you know, almost closing to the day because there's one more to read. Well, lo and behold, here we are, King of Swords. We had him earlier. Where did he go? Somewhere in here. No, it's the Queen of Swords. Oh, well. Moving on. King of Swords, I mean, using your intellect, and not intellect alone. Again, like both the King and the Queen of Swords, again, the Queen is here too, for sure, represent that sort of like strong, truthful, intellectual sort of energy, but and almost like, you know, the King of Cups there, you know, touching the water, because they still have to have a degree of tact and compassion for everything that everybody else is going through, but clearly setting the boundaries, you know, as to how far somebody can come in with their BS and, you know, whether or not they need to be pushed back or moved aside. And wow, lo and behold, the Lovers. So the Lovers, it doesn't always talk about romantic relationships. It can be about business relationships. It can be with your siblings or friends or whatever that appear up here, like your soul family. But it can be about romantic love. So being truthful, honest, integral, both to yourself and to your partner. I mean, it's a gorgeous ending to the day. Hope you close that out with some really good dreams. And this is a good start for the energy to come, you know, in the following morning. Okay, wishing you the best of luck and light. You take care. You know, lots of healing here for you, lots of progress, lots of beautiful emotions, things being dealt with, you know, like the Wheel of Fortune here, the Eight of Cups, moving on, Nine of Cups showing up twice, 9, 8, 7s, not a whole lot of duplication other than the Three of Swords popping up twice. A lot of great energy here, guys. Congrats, and good luck with your healing, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.